96.9 WBZH and 101.1 WHSM, Hayward's home for real news and great conversation. Here's your daily news roundup.
For Muskie 101 News, I'm Maddie Schaefer. Wisconsin-raised comedian Mary Mack will bring her North Star Comedy Hour to the Lucius Woods Performance Center in Solon Springs on Saturday, July 18th. North Star Comedy Hour is Mack's longtime variety show, which is now also a podcast featuring a mix of live music, stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and more. This year's show features blues and folk musician Chastity Brown, comedian Brandy Brown, and Stone Lake country artist Marley Payne, with Twin Cities band Circle of Heat serving as the house band. The performance will wrap up with Mac's audience participation game, The Yelling Bee, where volunteers compete in a humorous take on a spelling bee. Audience members are encouraged to bring their own lawn chairs. Tickets cost $15 in advance at lwmusic.org or $20 at the gate. If you're planning a 4th of July cookout, expect to pay a little more this year. According to the latest Wisconsin Farm Bureau Market Basket survey, the cost of hosting a summer cookout for 10 people now averages $75.50, or about $7.55 per person. That's up 7.5% from last year and marks the highest total since the survey began in 2013. Farm Bureau officials say much of the increase is being driven by the cost of ground beef. The survey found a pound of ground beef now averages $7.30. That's up more than 23% from last year. Fresh strawberries and vanilla ice cream also saw price increases of about 25%, while items including chocolate chip cookies, pork chops, potato chips, and baked beans were also slightly more expensive than a year ago. Farm Bureau says shoppers can save money by buying seasonal foods, watching for sales, and choosing products made in Wisconsin. Fireworks can be a blast, but they can also ruin the fun if someone gets hurt and are no fun at all for those sensitive to loud, unexpected noises. Here's Melissa Kay.
Eric Mackey, MD, an Aspirus emergency medicine physician, said they see a lot of burn injuries from fireworks.
One of the most common things that causes burns is sparklers. They are fun, and I know everybody enjoys them at this time of year, but they burn at an extremely high temperature, and even when the firework has completed, the residual stick from the sparkler remains very hot.
Mackey said firecrackers that explode can cause serious injuries.
Those can have more devastating impacts.
An important safety strategy involves making sure children are supervised appropriately and that an adult is the one igniting the fireworks. You should never place any part of your body directly over the firework when lighting the fuse.
The other thing we commonly see are eye-related injuries from burning embers or portions of fireworks that find their way into the eye. Some of the other high-risk things are, again, the much more explosive firecracker and even more explosive type of fireworks designed primarily to make loud bang.
And those loud bangs can have a devastating effect on our pets and on our military veterans who have survived combat. If you have a neighbor who is a combat veteran, please be courteous when shooting off fireworks. Consider letting them know, especially if you will be lighting them off prior to the 4th of July or after. I'm Melissa Kay.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission also reminds people to keep a bucket of water or a hose nearby when using fireworks. Never try to relight a firework that doesn't go off, and soak used fireworks in water before throwing them away. For Muskie 101 News, I'm Maddie Schaefer. Now a look at Northwoods News. I'm Maddie Schaefer. The Wisconsin Natural Resources Board has approved the deer harvest quotas and season framework for the 2026 deer hunting season. The recommendations were developed with input from Citizen Deer Advisory Council's public feedback and local deer population goals. For the 2026 season, more than 272,000 bonus antlerless harvest authorizations will go on sale beginning August 17th. Those authorizations will be available in every deer management unit except DMU 116, which includes parts of Price and Oneida counties. DNR Acting Deer Program Specialist Ryan Heffley says the local Citizen Deer Advisory Council recommended a buck-only season because of concerns about low deer numbers. However, junior antlerless harvest authorizations will still be valid in the unit. Hunters can begin purchasing the authorizations at 10 a.m. on August 17th through the Go Wild license portal and at licensed sales locations. Sales will open by management zone during the first 3 days, with any remaining permits becoming available August 20th. You can find more on the DNR's white-tailed deer hunting webpage. This month is Military Consumer Protection Month, and the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is encouraging military consumers to stay alert for scams and identity theft. According to data from the Federal Trade Commission, military consumers nationwide filed more than 117,000 fraud reports last year, with a median financial loss of $650. The department says imposter scams were the most commonly reported, while investment scams resulted in the highest financial losses. Officials encourage military consumers to avoid clicking links and unexpected messages, never send money to strangers through wire transfers, gift cards, or payment apps, and be cautious of anyone creating a sense of urgency or asking for personal information. More information and scam prevention resources can be found at datcp.wi.gov. For Northwoods News, I'm Maddie Schaefer.
For Civic Media News, I'm Connie Fellman. More than 16,000 Wisconsin moms are expected to gain a full year of health coverage after childbirth starting this week. Governor Tony Evers says the new law extends Medicaid coverage from 60 days to 12 months, aiming to improve care during what doctors call a critical period. State health officials say nearly half of pregnancy-related deaths happen in that first year, and most are preventable. Supporters call the change life-saving. The state says eligible moms will be automatically enrolled. Baseball-sized hail pelted Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties yesterday as storms ripped through northeast Wisconsin. Nearly 70-mile-per-hour winds toppled trees and knocked out power for more than 12,000 homes from Green Bay to Winnebago County. The National Weather Service is forecasting more possible thunderstorms for the Green Bay and Fox Valley areas later this afternoon. A piece of American history will be sailing into the Bay of Green Bay to help thank those who gave us the independence we're celebrating this weekend. The historic tall ship Utopia sails into port tomorrow, offering the public multiple opportunities to experience part of Wisconsin's maritime history. Free deck tours are open to the public, as well as ticketed charters and tours. The Utopia will also host a morning veteran cruise on July 4th. How patriotic are you feeling as we gear up to celebrate our country's 250th birthday? A recent survey found that here in Wisconsin, we're in the middle of the road when it comes to patriotism. A recent Wallet Hub survey ranked the 50 most patriotic states in the country based on military and civic engagement. The finance website looked at items such as the number of military enlistees and veterans and how many people voted in the 2024 election. The Badger State was ranked 25th in the survey, but was listed 15th in the civic engagement category. In case you were wondering, Virginia was ranked as the most patriotic state. The Oshkosh Police Department has seized more than 600 illegal fireworks from a stand following an investigation last week. Police say they became aware of the stand on June 26th after receiving information that it may be selling fireworks. An inspection was conducted the following day and found the business selling prohibited fireworks out of a separate trailer parked away from the main stand. The materials are estimated to be worth $29,000. The investigation remains ongoing. Wisconsin conservation wardens are teaming up with local law enforcement to keep people safe on our waterways and roadways this holiday weekend. The DNR's Operation Dry Water goes into effect today, with additional patrols on lakes and rivers looking for impaired boaters. As Civic Media's James Kelly tells us, authorities are also double-teaming to keep drunk drivers off the roads.
In addition to the increased enforcement on the water by the DNR, AAA will once again work to keep impaired drivers off the road. The organization will officially reactivate its Tow-to-Go program, running from 6 p.m. on Friday to 6 a.m. on Monday. The program allows AAA members and non-members who become too impaired to drive to call for a ride and a tow for their vehicle for free. Organization officials are also reminding residents that the Tow-to-Go program should be a last resort, and if they plan to consume alcohol, they should arrange their own ride. For Civic Media News, I'm James Kelly.
Last year, close to 800,000 people called AAA for roadside assistance over the July 4th period. Wisconsin lawmakers are encouraging kids to avoid screens this summer. The Wisconsin Partnership for Kids hosted a kickball game between state legislators and youth players during a local summer camp in Waunakee this week. The two sides played each other at Heritage Elementary School. Democratic Representative Alex George told WMTV she hopes children take more opportunities to get out and socialize, noting what she described as a direct connection between screen time and isolation. Fireworks are a favorite part of the 4th of July holiday for many, but as Civic Media's Melissa Kay tells us, that fun can blow up quickly if fireworks aren't used safely.
Fireworks can be a blast, but they can also ruin the fun if someone gets hurt and are no fun at all for those sensitive to loud, unexpected noises. Eric Mackey, MD, an Aspirus emergency medicine physician, said they see a lot of burn injuries from fireworks.
One of the most common things that causes burns is sparklers. They are fun, and I know everybody enjoys them at this time of year, but they burn at an extremely high temperature, and even when the firework has completed, the residual stick from the sparkler remains very hot.
An important safety strategy involves making sure children are supervised appropriately and that an adult is the one igniting the fireworks. For Civic Media News, I'm Melissa Kay.
Last year, tens of thousands of people were treated in emergency departments in the U.S. for fireworks-related injuries. Department of Health Services is trying to cover its tracks after sending personal information to wrong addresses. Officials say notifications were sent out to affected individuals explaining their information may have been accessed by people who shouldn't have seen it. DHS notified the impacted Wisconsinites when the error was discovered back in April, compiling a list of more than 8,100 names. Those people have been offered free credit monitoring for 1 year and a dedicated call center to have questions answered. State wildlife officials say conflicts involving gray wolves, livestock, and pets are declining. The Department of Natural Resources paid about $200,000 in damage claims this year, almost $100,000 less than in 2024. Officials say complaints and verified wolf conflicts are down across the board. The DNR credits predator-proof fencing with helping protect livestock from wolf attacks. This comes as 2 federal bills seeking to remove gray wolves from the endangered species list remain pending. For many of us, the brightly colored explosions in the sky are a favorite part of celebrating our country's birthday. But as Civic Media's Melissa Kay tells us, for those who fought for the freedom we're celebrating, those fireworks can trigger painful memories.
For our military veterans living with post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, exploding fireworks can trigger distressing memories. The Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs recommends tips to help veterans and their friends and families manage PTSD during fireworks. For veterans, find out in advance if a celebration will include them and when. Remind yourself you are safe and consider using earplugs or other sensory aids. For family and friends, ask how you can help. Offer words of support such as, "I am here with you now," and help the veteran remember where they currently are and that it is safe. I'm Melissa Kay, Civic Media News.
If you have a neighbor who's a combat veteran, veteran advocates ask that you just be courteous when shooting off fireworks. Consider letting them know, especially if you'll be lighting them off prior to the 4th or after. Those unfamiliar explosions and loud bangs also terrorize many pets this time of year whose owners don't realize their 4-legged friends may not share our enthusiasm for fireworks shows. Animal advocates recommend leaving your dog at home inside if you're heading out to watch a fireworks show. If you plan to celebrate at home, just keep a close eye on your pet. Humane Society workers say the 4th of July holiday is one of the most common times of year for pets to go missing. They say the combination of loud fireworks, more people outdoors, and more guests coming and going through open doors creates ideal conditions for a scared pet to slip away. And that's your State News Update. I'm Connie Fellman for Civic Media News.
Baseball tonight. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers on the road for this 4th of July weekend. They open up a 3-game weekend series tonight in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. It's part of an 11-game road trip, 5 games next week in St. Louis against the Cardinals, including a doubleheader on Tuesday. The next weekend, they're off to Pittsburgh to play the Pirates before the All-Star break. The Brewers losing yesterday to the Reds 7-2. Jacob Mizorowski taking the loss after giving up 5 runs in 5 innings. The Miz also informed because he's likely to pitch against the Pirates, he won't be able to start in the All-Star game.
I get it. We're not looking for right now. We're looking for, September, October. So, it sucks. Obviously, I want to throw in a game like that, but, so be it.
That's the Brewers' Jacob Mizorowski. We'll have updates on the crew from Arizona throughout the weekend. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
It is going to be a little muggy today, mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms late morning into the afternoon. Our high today right around 85. Tonight, mostly cloudy, late night showers and thunder showers with a low around 60. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, scattered thunderstorms with a high right around 80. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable.
That's your Hayward News Roundup from WBZH and WHSM. Find more news anytime at wbzh.fm/news. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts.